Hey everyone, so today I am doing the perfect palette tag. I think it's called the perfect palette tag at least. So basically the aim of this tag is there's like how many? 10 questions, sorry I'm like reading off my screen. And you have to pick one palette for each category. And I thought this was going to be really easy. I have so many palettes and I love so many palettes. But when I actually went to pick a palette for each question, I was so stumped and I had to like rearrange my like palettes like 20 times because I just didn't know what to pick for each one. I finally think I got it down packed. And there are definitely like 3 or 4 palettes I could put under each category, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted one under each one because I didn't want to cheat, because I always cheat at tags. So this one I kind of stuck to the rules, I think, pretty much, hopefully. Okay, so the first one is best packaging, and I picked the Urban Decay Vice 2 palette. And the reason I picked this for best packaging is it's super sturdy and it's secure, so it's not just going to pop open. Like a lot of other palettes just kind of open and close, but this one actually has a clip. So you press it in and it opens up. The packaging isn't super thin and sleek. It's still not too big and bulky because, you know, the actual eyeshadows actually do. Oh, look, you can see my tank. Look how messy. I'm so messy. I need to clean that up right now. Well, after the video. But yeah, like even though the palette's not tiny, at least the eyeshadows still take up most of the room. It's not like those stupid palettes that have like a 2 centimeter gap between each eyeshadow. Like it's still a good use of space and it's not too big. Like I could still take this traveling. Like for someone like me, this would be fine to take traveling. Obviously it's better to take something smaller, but it's not that big. It's not too heavy. It's just nice and sturdy and it's easy to wipe down, so the packaging is really good in that aspect as well. The next question or category is the best colour payoff, and I chose the Stila in the light palette, but all of the Stila palettes have this kind of characteristic. They are all really pigmented. This one's not colourful, it's a neutral palette, but I chose this one because it's my favourite Stila palette ever. It's like one of my favourite palettes in the world. The reason I chose it for best colour payoff is they're super pigmented. I'll just swatch like 4 of them for you. If you can see them on my fingers, and the texture is so dreamy. You don't get much fallout at all, like I barely get any. And they're so buttery and pigmented. When you apply them, they're so soft and just smooth, and they're not chunky. They're just a really great consistency. Like they're just so smooth and they just apply like a dream. So these are my favourite colour payoff ones under that category. I just love the consistency. Stila has the best consistency for eyeshadows in my opinion. I just love them. Next is most versatile, and I chose a neutral palette because on a day-to-day basis I just use neutrals. This is the Lorac Pro palette, and I'll write everything down below as well. But the reason I chose this for most versatile is it has a little bit of everything. So it's got warm tones, it's got mattes, it's got shimmers, it's got cool tones, it's got like this entire top row here is matte and then this entire row is shimmery. So it's got a matte black, it's got a matte white, which is always great, it's got a matte brown for your crease, and then it's got some really nice lid colours like a bronze, a gold, there's a gunmetal, a deep purple, a red tone, a taupe, a champagne. Like there's just a little bit of everything, so you can do so many different looks with this palette. Even though it's a neutral palette, there's so many different ways you can go, and every single look you create with this is just going to be easy to wear because it's just a neutral kind of shade. And if you do want a little bit of something extra, you can always just add in heaps of black, or you could add in that garnet colour, which is my favourite colour from the entire palette. It's so beautiful. So I just think this is super versatile and I just love this. It's definitely one of my top palettes as well. Let me know if you think I should do like a top 5 eyeshadow palette video or something. I think it would be quite hard to narrow it down to top 5, but I reckon it'd be a good video because there are some palettes that I'm just obsessed with. Next, best for travelling. And for this one I found it quite hard because I don't really consider normal things. Like most normal people will be like, okay, it's got to be lightweight, it's got to be like tiny, it's got to have the right colours, etc, etc. For me it is the Naked 2 palette. I know it sounds so weird because it's not super small or anything, but I just love the colour selection, and the big thing for me is it snaps shut. So I can put this in my suitcase and not worry about it like flicking open or breaking everywhere. It's just super sturdy and it has like a bunch of really pretty colours I can do heaps of different looks with. Like just like the Lorac palette, it's like got every neutral colour you need just for like any daytime look or anything like that. And it's got a black and it's got a highlight colour. And there's quite a few different looks you can create with it as well. So if you're going away for like a week, you can still do like a different eye makeup look most days. So That's what I would take traveling. I know it's kind of weird because it's not tiny as I said, but that's just me. I love this and I do take this with me when I go like stay at family's house and like go to Palmy or whatever. Next is Biggest Regret, and I chose the Too Faced Summer Eyes palette, and I actually have a few of the other Too Faced palettes. I really like them, like the eyeshadows are great quality, but the reason I kind of regret buying this one is just because I don't reach for it ever. The colours are just like meh, like I don't like any of these three colours. The only ones I really use are like the browns, but even then I've got better browns everywhere else. And then there's just like a pink which I would never ever use on my eyes. It's like a really shimmery odd kind of pink. The peach is really nice, but again it's not the kind of colour you reach for very often. So I just regret buying this because I just really didn't need it at all, and yeah. I bought it online so I didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, I don't really like it, so that's my regret. Please excuse my hair as well. Like my hair has grown to the length where it's like, well, my top layers I should say, it's like a really awkward length. This is my natural hair here, and it's like sticking out from my extensions and making my extensions look really bad. So I don't really know what to do. It's like, it's almost like the same situation as when your fringe is like not short enough and not long enough. Like it's the same thing, and it's just like sitting all funny like right here. It's like flicking out, so anyway, best colour names, and for that I chose this palette here by Kat Von D. It's called the Spellbinding Eyeshadow Book, and I just think the eyeshadow names are quite cool. They say them on the back as well, so there's like Geek, Sunset Boulevard, 8-Bit, Holy Bible, Oddfellow, Insta Glam, Stupid Autocorrect, like some really funny names. There's also WTF, and what else is there? Geek, Babe, Birdcage, like just random stuff, but I don't know, I just really like the names. And I love the colours. I haven't even used this in like a tutorial or anything yet, and I really need to because some of the colours are quite unique. It's a really cool palette to buy if like you want to experiment with like different colours that you don't really find anywhere else. There's like a lot of like really random pretty colours in here. It's not the kind of palette where you would often only use this palette, like you'd almost want like a different brown or something. Like they do have like this colour here, but it's not quite dark enough, so it's not like a beginner's palette or anything, but if you like to collect eyeshadows, definitely check it out. Next is Least Used, and I picked the Stila palette. This is the Luxe eyeshadow palette, and I love this palette, but I just don't use it very often because the colours are kind of random. Like obviously those top three eyeshadows are like totally wearable, but then it has like a pink and a magenta and then like a purple and then blues. Like it's a really pretty palette, and the pigmentation is impeccable and amazing. And I love it so much, and I love Stila eyeshadow so much, but it's just like, I don't know, I just don't often reach for it because it doesn't have like colours that I really want to wear on a day-to-day basis. Like I could definitely use these ones, but then I just reach for a different palette because I get lazy. I don't know. I really need to do like a tutorial using that bright magenta, like something really fun, but I don't know what. So you know how at the beginning of this video I said I didn't cheat in this video? I kind of did, only on one. This is the most used. And for me it's my MAC palette that I made myself, so I'll just have to link down the colours in the down bar that are in this palette, but this is my most used just because I created it myself, and it's got every neutral colour I need for a day-to-day basis. It's got like my crease colours, it's got my highlight colours, it's got my lid colours and like deep black and just everything I need, so that's my most used by far. I think the only reason I use this the most is because it's got a clear top, so I can literally see exactly what I want and I just use it. Whereas in the rest of the palettes you kind of have to open them up and like search for a colour. This one I can just see everything, so I love my MAC eyeshadow palettes. I know you can't just go out and buy this, like you have to go and buy each individual eyeshadow, so I'm sorry, but this is definitely my most used palette, so sorry, cheated. Had to cheat. I can't do a tag without cheating, apparently. Next is my most loved, and this is a little tiny palette, and this is my Tom Ford Trio in She-Wolf. I don't know if this qualifies as a proper palette, but I mean, it's got 3 different colours, so I'm claiming it as a palette. But basically, I just love this because that glitter, ooh, I'm going back to front, that glitter colour is like amazing on the lid. It's like so beautiful. I've done 2 tutorials using this already. In fact, with all of these palettes, if I've used them in a video yet, I will definitely write what video next to each, like I'll link each video next to the palette so you can go check out a look that I've done with that palette. I just am obsessed. The quality is amazing. I just love it because it's like a luxury brand. It makes me feel special, which sounds stupid, but it does. I love it, and oh my gosh, like the colours are just so pretty. They're just like greyish taupes. Looks so boring, I know, but I don't know. When I wear it, it just looks amazing. And the last one is like, what would you take on a desert island? I chose this one here, which I haven't shown in a video yet. It's the Smashbox Masterclass 2 palette, and I chose this because it has amazing eyeshadows, like an amazing selection. It's got some neutrals and it's got some colours so you can do anything, and then it's also got gel eyeliners that you can also use as a base, and then it's got bronzers, highlighters and blush. So yeah, the reason I chose this is because you can literally just like create any look. So if you're stuck in a desert island for ages, you can experiment with your makeup and create lots of different looks that no one will see. Honestly, if I was stranded on a desert island, makeup would be the last thing that I'd want, and I wouldn't really wear makeup on a desert because that would be kind of hot and dumb, but I just think this is like the perfect all-rounder. Like, it's got a bit of everything, and it's got stuff for your cheeks and eyeliner and stuff as well, so it's just got, yeah, a bit of everything. And that is everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see a look on this makeup, I've kind of done something similar, which I'll link down below. This is the MAC Copper Sparkle eyeshadow, and I did a look that looks way better than this. So yeah, linked down below. And I tagged some people, as long as they haven't done it yet, because by the time I get this up, it'll be like a week later. I tagged Karissa from Karissa Pukas. I tagged Chloe, Lauren, Jah, Sully, Anna, Jaclyn Hill and Nicole Guerriero. So if any of you guys see this video, please do this tag. It's great fun. And anyone else that wants to do it, of course, go for it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye! Once you're done with that darker crease colour, the matte one, take the black and the gunmetal kind of colours and apply that underneath as well and on your outer V.